everyone, it's Alicia Malone. Welcome to another episode of Fandango Indie Movie Guide. Now, before I get into the releases of the week, I wanted to talk about the Golden Globes. So the 74th annual Golden Globes were held over the weekend, and as much as I know award shows are silly, I do really get sucked into them. I love the buzz, I love the excitement, I love the predictions, and I love watching the ceremony. This year I was really lucky because I got to go along to the red carpet, I got to watch it in the same hotel, not in the ballroom, but at a viewing party where I knew no one, so I drank champagne and just tweeted along. But let's talk about the actual awards. There were a few little surprises of the night. Best Supporting Actor went to Aaron Taylor-Johnson for Nocturnal Animals, rather than Mahershala Ali from Moonlight, which many of us, including me, thought would happen. I really wanted Mahershala Ali to win, and I wanted Moonlight to win more in general. But anyway, this was La La Land's night, and you guys know how much I love that movie. It swept the awards. It won all 7 of its nominations, and though I, thought maybe Best Screenplay could have gone to Manchester by the Sea for Kenneth Lonergan, I was really excited to see La La Land win Best Comedy Musical, Best Actress Comedy Musical, and Best Actor Comedy or Musical. It does start to set up this idea of it being overrated. People are already starting their backlash saying that La La Land isn't that good to win that many awards, because now it's set the records for the most amount of Golden Globes for a single movie, which is crazy, but again, it's about the comedy or musical category. I love La La Land despite what anyone might say, and I think it will do well come Oscar time, but I'm not sure if it will win. Moonlight did win in the Best Picture Drama category, and I was super excited to see that happen. And then the other surprise was Isabelle Huppert, who won for Elle for Best Actress in a Drama. I really thought it was going to go to Natalie Portman for Jackie, not just because it ticks all the award boxes of being a true story and playing an iconic figure, but because it really was a transformation. That character of Jackie Kennedy, she's someone that's so familiar, and she has a very particular way of speaking that it could easily have been an impersonation, but Natalie Portman made it her own. That being said, super excited to see Isabelle Huppert win for Elle, because no matter what you think about awards, and yeah, they can be silly and superficial, etc., etc., Hollywood congratulating itself, they do encourage audiences to see the movie, because if an audience hears about a film like Elle, maybe they'll go check it out, and foreign films especially need that help. So I hope more people see Elle and all of the other contenders, especially in the foreign film category. Come Oscar time, Elle isn't even shortlisted as one of the possible contenders for Best Foreign Language Film, but perhaps all of this buzz around Isabelle will mean that she'll get a nomination. It will be very interesting to see, and award season is just heating up, so stay tuned. Now let's go to what's new this week, and in theaters is a documentary called Saving Banksy about the famous street artist.
Oh, that's a Banksy? That's certainly not graffiti then. I mean, it's a respected artist.
Banksy's compared, the next Andy Warhol.
If he just cuts that out, that'll go up for auction for like $500,000, easy.
This is all about the idea of street art. What is art? What isn't art? Is it worth saving? Should you put it in museums? Does it belong just on the street? And how about those people that profit a lot from just having Banksy happen to put it on their wall? Or even the people that go and steal a Banksy from a wall in order to sell it at auction. It's a really interesting topic, and this documentary puts together a bunch of famous street artists. I'm not cool enough to know who they are, but it makes for an interesting discussion.
If they had any idea, they would be buying it now, snapping it up and putting it in their collection.
Last offer I had from a collector was for $700,000.
It's not really fair to compare it to Exit Through the Gift Shop. Say it's like a companion piece for those who want to know more about street art. You can see Saving Banksy, the documentary, in limited theaters right now. Now to two films available on video on demand. Both were some of my favorites from 2016. The first one is Christine, starring Rebecca Hall, and this is based on the true story of Christine Chubbuck, the news reporter who killed herself live on air. And that story may sound familiar because not only have I talked about Christine, I've also talked about the documentary Kate Plays Christine, both about the same news reporter.
Hey, Chris. Are you okay?
Yeah. Just, summer allergies.
Oh. But are you, okay?
What do you mean?
Well, you just seem a little more wound up than usual.
What do you mean?
Rebecca Hall does a remarkable job of becoming this character. She is twitchy and she is not comfortable in her body, and you see her slowly build up to the inevitable end. And this movie is like one of those films where even though you know the ending because it's based on a true story, it's hard to watch and it's hard not to look away. You know what's coming, and that makes it extremely tense.
Have you seen the flowers? They're fake! Sums up the whole operation!
Christine, go home!
These people are ruining me!
These people?
No, why won't anyone just listen to me?
It is a very well-made movie, and it's one that I wish was in awards talk more, because I remember when I saw it at Sundance, I was like, nomination for Rebecca Hall. That didn't happen, I think mainly because it's a small movie and it doesn't have the kind of level of money and influence to campaign for these awards, but definitely worth a watch. Seek out Christine at home on video on demand. Another one that was very underrated of 2016, one that you should watch before the English language remake comes about, Under the Shadow. This is a horror film. It's an Iranian, Jordanian, British co-production, and it's set in Iran during the Iraq-Iran war, and it's about a mother and daughter who are staying behind in the city that they live in as the bombs start to come down. That's horrific and scary enough, but then the added element is this kind of ghost demon story, because the mother is trying to look after her daughter, but the daughter is being plagued by an evil spirit. Oh, it's one of those movies I had to watch like this because I was so scared. It's got the jump scares, it's freaky, and I saw it at Sundance, loved it, thought it was a great horror film, and I was really hoping that more people would see it. It has subtitles and it was a really small release, so maybe that affected it, but now it's at home, more people can see it, and I really encourage, especially horror fans out there, to see Under the Shadow. It's very similar to The Babadook, which I loved. Anyway, that's Fandango Indie Movie Guide for this week. Let me know below what you thought of the Golden Globes, whether you predicted any of the categories correctly, if there were any surprises for you, if there are any films that you wish were in the conversation that weren't. I'm Alicia Malone, and I'll be back next week with a special preview of this year's Sundance Film Festival. Yay! Bye!